Hi guys, so the lovely people down at Shoben have given me one of their pattern shapers, which is a new pattern ruler to have a little play around with. I just wanted to share it with you guys and let you know my thoughts on it. It is essentially supposed to be a kind of joining or coming together of their pattern master, which is a tool I use quite a lot. This is the one I'm speaking about, and their French curve. I don't really use a French curve, so I haven't really got much to say on that front, but as something that's come from the pattern master, I think it's pretty great so far. So let's have a little look a bit more in depth and I can show you all the little bits and bobs that it has, all the gadgety parts. Okay guys, so just a bit of a closer look, and I've put the pattern shaper next to the pattern master so we can compare the curves. They are pretty different, but I think that's really good because I never really use this part of the pattern master. So to have this slightly shallower curve, I think is really great. The other obvious difference is that it's bright yellow, which is good. It shows up on the desk really easily compared to Pattern Master. And then the main thing that I think is super cool, I'm going to point to it with a pencil, is that we now have 0.7 seam allowance marked on here, which is really great. So we still have our 0.5, and you can see they've labelled them here, 0.5, which is that first line in, and then 0.7, which is the second line in. And this is so handy because in industry, I use 0.7 as a seam allowance so much. Generally use it on things like necklines or armholes, any bagged out edges or any curved edges that you kind of need a smaller seam allowance just as a standard. We still have our 90-degree lines for squaring, which is great, and then also our 45-degree lines for marking anything like bias lines or anything like that. It is also a little bit shorter. So you can see here it's about 2 cm shorter than the Pattern Master, which for me is awesome because I can never quite fit my Pattern Master in my bag. So it's quite large, and yeah, it just never really fits. So not very portable at all. Yeah, this one is much better for carrying around. So the other new feature that we have is we have numbers going all the way along the edge. Measuring anything bigger than 20 centimeters with the Pattern Master is quite hard because it starts here at 0 and then moves out. So here we still have that, we still have 0, and then it goes from 0 to 20 all along one edge and then the same along the other. But further in we have a normal ruler going from 0 all the way up to 40, which is awesome. It's going to be much easier for measuring stuff. Now you have to use my tape measure a lot less. The next new thing is these buttonholes, which are built into the ruler, which is really great. I really struggle at work not having set buttonhole measurements to mark on my patterns, and I was actually just about to buy a different Japanese ruler with these built in, so now that these are here, that is awesome. So I'll just show you how it works in action. So we can still do our normal straight lines using our nice straight edge. We can still square our lines, so creating a line at a 90-degree line. We can still do our 45-degree angle lines, so to mark on bias lines. And of course, we can still add our seam allowances. So we just mark up our original line with a 1 cm guideline, and we can draw that on. But now we can also do 0.7. So there we are with a nice 0.7. And then we can still do our 0.5, which we could do on the Pattern Master as well. And I'll just mark those on so you guys can see. This 0.7 line is probably my favourite feature. It's really solved a lot of problems for me, so I'm extremely happy about that. Yeah, so we also have these new curves. I was doing a block drafting class the other day, and pretty much everyone had this issue with the hip curve on the Pattern Master. See here, it's really round and kind of goes out too much. Pretty much everyone had to shave this little bit off the side, which the new hip curve on here has kind of already done, so that's pretty awesome. We also have these little buttonholes, like I said, so we go all the way up from 14 to 18 to 32, and then the biggest one is 44, and then goes down to 40 and 36. So yeah. Oh, I forgot to say actually, on the buttonholes, we've got these halfway marks, which are really handy, so you can pop them on there and then you can draw a line straight through the center of the circle. So that's again really good for marking your drill holes, and then also if you were drawing these you could use those to line up on the line. And then the last thing is that the 0.7 seam allowance guide goes all the way around the curve. So if you wanted to add seam allowance, so to like this hip curve here, we could line that up and then we could add 0.7 on there like that. course, you can still do it on the straight edge like this. You just use your pencil as a pivot point. So yeah, that's the pattern shaper. All in all, I really like it as a tool. I think it's really cool. Kind of solves all the little niggly bits I had about the pattern master. The only negative that I have is this area here. It's like the flatter curve and then this. I really wish this just went a little bit like half a mil more so it had a nice run like this one here, because I find this area is quite nice for armholes if you're getting to kind of any larger sizes. But again, it's very easily fixed, so yeah, it's not really that big of a problem for me. It has less negatives than the Pattern Master probably. There's a link below that you can follow to find the Shoben website and find the pattern shaper. I will be above board, it's an affiliate link, so if you use that link to buy this, then a little bit of that sale goes to me, and then that helps me create more free videos for you guys and things like courses and develop my business a little bit. So I would really appreciate it if you are going to buy one, use that link, that would be ace.